Welcome to the Greater Than Business podcast, where it's all about creating an amazingly successful business without sacrificing your quality of life, because life should be greater than business. And now, here is your host, Courtney Bedore.
This is episode 37 of the Greater Than Business podcast, and today we are going to be talking about a lot of shit. I'm just gonna put it right out there because I haven't recorded an episode in over probably a month and a half, and I haven't done so because we have been on basically lockdown. So usually I don't mention what day it is when I'm recording, but today is April 7th. And I have not had a new podcast released to you guys since February 25th. So the reason why is because I was gone away for a week and I was planning on coming back on March 9th and having a new episode for you guys. And then basically the whole world went to shit. And I don't know how else to describe it. We are in some uncharted territory here, and it has been incredibly insane. So I'm going to try and not talk about all of the doom and gloom and horrible things that are happening out there. I want to focus on things that I can actually control and contribute to the conversation. So I want to do this quick quick podcast and just kind of let you guys know why I took a bit of a hiatus. And the reason why is because I didn't know what to say. I felt like no matter what I said, it was wrong. It would have seemed insincere to continue on as if this wasn't happening. Episode 37 should have been about launching, which it's not. This is definitely something that I don't think any of us have ever experienced anything close to it, and we probably won't again in our life, hopefully. And I just feel like for myself, it's very insincere of me to come onto my podcast and pretend like everything is perfect in the world, because it's not. And we all know that. So I took a little bit of a break because I didn't know how to address this. I didn't know if I wanted to address it. I wanted to just kind of hope it was going to blow over, and then I could just kind of maybe take 2 weeks off and no one would really notice, and then just come back at you with the regular episodes. But I feel like I needed to just kind of talk this out. So firstly, I know a lot of you guys are now working from home, and you might have discovered podcasts, and you might have discovered this one because it is about online business. And if you are thinking about switching your business to being online or catering to the online world, or even trying to figure out a way of getting out of your office and maybe creating your own business, now would be the time, because you have nothing but time. But at the same time, don't put added pressure and stress on yourself. Don't feel the need to, just because you have all this time that you said you've wanted, and you could do X, Y, and Z if you only had more time, and now you have all of this time, but you're literally doing nothing. That's okay. Trust me, I've been there. It's one of those things where you always say to yourself that if you just had more time, you'd be able to do this, this, and that. However, right now, you may feel like you have nothing but time, except you are functioning during a crisis, a worldwide crisis. Please do not put any extra pressure on yourself to feel like this is your time to be that person that you've always wanted to be. use the time, if you're feeling up to it, to, of course, push yourself forward, get out of your comfort zone. But also use this time to really sink into your comfort zone. Think about all the things that bring you joy and spend time doing that. You don't need to come up with the next prize-winning book or bestseller or business idea that's going to make millions or some little thing that's going to save 1,000 lives. Like, it's just focus on what you can do. And it might seem very insignificant, but the fact that you're just at home is the most significant contribution that you can make right now. Only leave your house when you need to and stay at home and get to know those people that live at your house. Most of them are called family. That is one of the greatest things that I've seen trending online, is some of the comical things that are coming out of this. So like, hey, I found this girl. She lives at my house. Apparently she's my wife. She's pretty cool. Like, just things like that just kind of made me laugh, because we're always so busy. We never actually take the time to sit down and get to know our family. And if you do sit down and try to understand your kids, it's just, they're always wanting to go and do other things, and you've got other things on the go. And this is kind of a really good time to just kind of connect, and don't feel like you need to make time to connect. You don't need to schedule it in your calendar. You can just sit down at the kitchen table and chat. Walk into their bedroom and just be like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing today? Just things like that. You don't need to put added pressure onto yourself to do more than what you should. Right now, the sole focus is staying healthy, staying indoors, and keeping your sanity. And as someone who has worked from home for, 7 years? Oh, wait, no, more than that, 11 years, because I forgot about my other business where I still worked from home. So 11 years now I have been working from home, and 5 of those, I have been working on this business as well as my old business, but primarily for the last 5 years, I have been working single-handedly on this business. So yeah, it's a challenge to work from home. So I have seen this one thing floating around on the internet that said that you are not working from home during a crisis. You are managing a crisis while also working at your home. And I think that that's really important to keep in mind, that you will not have the same ability to work as good as you were before this happened, before you were sent home, or before, in my case, my family was sent home. So I used to dread the days of PA days, which are school holidays in Canada. I think they're actually called PD days now, but anyways, PA days. I have no idea what the PA stands for. That's just what we've always called them. So anyways, those days were always so hard for me because I have a routine Monday through Friday, and I have things I need to do every day. I have things I need to check off my list on a daily basis. There's tasks that need to get done regardless of if my kids are home. And I started realizing that I'm basically in an inevitable PA day right now. It might not ever end, and it's just here, and I just have to deal. But it's a huge shakeup when you're so used to working from home and you have the quiet, the peace, the ability to do what you want. In the middle of the day, if I was working and I wanted to go outside and have a walk, I could just go do that. But now I feel like, okay, I can't go have a walk because I got to make sure the kids are fed. I have to make sure that the dog is okay. I have to make sure that they know where I'm going. I also have to make sure that they know that I'm leaving the house to go on a walk and I don't really want company. And then other days, maybe I do want company. Like, it's craziness. And it's a huge adjustment. And I really want to encourage you guys to just do what you can Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. If you are working for clients, do not allow them to put extra pressure on you because they are feeling stressed out about their business. That is one of the biggest things that I actually wasn't going to talk about, but now I feel like I need to. If you are working with clients and they are getting in a reactive mode, which basically means that they are panicking and they're seeing income flying out the window, they may start threatening to take away your pay or things like that. You need to just not allow that to affect you. We are all in the same position here. We are all working day to day. We are all trying to function day to day. And if you have a client that is panicking about their income right now, going from $150,000 a month to $50,000 a month, that is a huge drop for them. But they also need to understand that you losing the $500 that they're paying you is detrimental to your survival as well. So it's a sucky time for everybody. We're all in this together in more ways than one. And you just need to kind of do what you can do to get through this. Don't add any extra pressure. Don't add any extra stress. Try to remember in your conversations that you're having with people that everyone's afraid. Everyone's fears, even if they seem irrational, are still fears, and we need to respect that. And we need to try and get through this on the other side whenever it may be over. And in all honesty, please do not hold this against me, but I think we are going to be in this until the end of 2020. And I know that that's an incredibly scary thought, but I just don't see us getting to a point of anything close to our old normal before the end of this year. Obviously, there's going to be some things that are going to come back, and there's going to be obviously some workplaces that will be able to open their doors again, and there's going to be businesses that are going to be able to thrive after this, but I just don't see a lot of normal happening again until towards the end of this year. And I am not a doctor. I am not involved in any sort of bigger picture. This is just what I feel and how I am preparing. I always want to make sure that I am prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. And preparing for the worst for me is basically making sure that we have enough supplies at our house to be able to function until the end of the year. And when I say supplies, I mean we have computers for my kids to work on so that they can continue their schoolwork. I have my office here so I can continue doing what I need to do. My husband is able to set up his office here so that he's able to work from home. I don't mean going out and hoarding toilet paper, although our toilet paper situation here is getting a little bit dire. We happened to buy a big roll at a big package at the beginning of March before all the craziness happened. And we do Amazon auto ship. So our toilet paper order comes once a month and it's enough to last us for the month plus a little bit. And yeah, it didn't arrive yesterday like it should have on April 6th. So we are down to probably maybe at best 12 rolls, which having 4 of us in the house all day, every day, toilet paper is going a lot faster than it usually does. And we had a little bit of a stockpile because I screwed up a couple months back and accidentally ordered 2 packages instead of 1. So we had a little bit of a surplus, but I am now seeing that our surplus is going to be gone quick. So anyways, that's beside the point. But I'm just saying, I'm not stocking up on food. I'm not hoarding. I'm not doing any of that stuff. We have made conscious decisions over the last couple of weeks, making sure that we have the essentials and making sure that we do have non-perishables if we get into that dire of a situation. But we're just making sure that we have enough food to get us through the week. And then we're doing our grocery shopping once a week. And we're just being smart about everything that we're eating. We have zero waste happening right now, which is amazing, which we always tried to do that before, but it just, sometimes you just forget that things are in the fridge because you cook something and you have a little bit more and then you think, oh, okay, yep, I'll eat that tomorrow. And then you forget about it. And then the next thing you know, you're running to kids' practices and you've got a meeting that ran late and, oh, I'll just whip something up quick for dinner. And then you forget that you had leftovers. So things like that, because we're not leaving the house, we are definitely more aware of what's in our fridge and all of that other stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how we're getting through it. That is my doomsday prepping, for lack of a better term, where we're just kind of realizing that this could be going on a lot longer than any of us have ever anticipated. I know at the beginning of this, I had to work through a lot of guilt on this because I have been struggling with a health issue over the last forever, it seems, at least since the fall of last year. And it got really, really bad at the end of January, beginning of February. And then I eventually did finally go to the hospital, and we were in the process of trying to figure out what exactly is going wrong when all of this hit. So on top of everything else, I'm still dealing with like this chronic nagging pain in my stomach, and I can't get rid of it. And it causes me not to be able to eat. I get physically sick, just a whole bunch of crazy things that are going on. And on top of all of that, now we have this virus that is causing havoc as well. So I have been trying to take it as easy as possible, keep my stress levels down, do all of that stuff. But then this happened. So I really struggled at the beginning of this because when I was going through all of that massive, like, just annoyance of this pain that I couldn't get rid of, and nothing was making it better and everything was making it worse. And then things that used to make me feel better were then making it feel worse. And it was just a crazy time. But anyways, I was going through all of that, and then I made a comment to a friend of mine, and I said, I wish that, like, we could just hit pause for 2 weeks, because I think I may have said a week at the beginning, where I just needed a vacation for a week, where everyone thought I was on vacation, and I could mentally reset myself. I could also only look after myself and be completely selfish. And I also wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So I basically literally said, I want the kids' sports to stop. I want my work to stop. I want, like, I think I actually used the word, I want the world to pause. And be careful what you wish for, because, and also when you're wishing for something, be very, very, very specific, because what I ended up getting was the world pausing, and not the way that I wanted it to. I did not want it to be devastating and affect everybody and all of this other stuff that's going on right now. But I am grateful that there was this pause that happened, because I've been able to reset myself a little bit. Although I've been working way more in the past 2.5, 3 weeks than I have been in ages, it's still good to get things progressing and kind of have some normalcy. Except I haven't had to go to social settings. I haven't had to leave my house. I haven't had to do all of those other really nagging things that would have been driving me bonkers prior to this. So in one way, it's good. I did get what I wished for. But in the other way, I didn't want it to be this severe of a shutdown. So yeah, I definitely struggled with that a lot at the beginning because I felt like this was my fault. Like somehow I wished this upon us all, which like totally understand that there's no way anyone could have ever created this mess. But it's something that I felt guilty about. But then I had to realize that, you know what? Wishing for that pause for myself and then having the rest of the world get it as well was a good thing, because we are all realizing what truly matters in our lives, who truly matters, what our priorities are. And I believe after this that the world is going to come out better than it is now, or than it was previous. I think a lot of people lost their focus, and a lot of people lost what really mattered to them. So I think that having this little bit of a time to, like, a forced reflection is really good for all of us. And I think that it's going to bring about some positive change in the world and possibly lead us to a better place. And funny enough, I was actually reading today about what happened after the last pandemic in 1918, I believe, in and around there. And what I was reading, I do not know if it's credible, do not quote me on this, but I really like the sentiment of it. And it said that the places that actually shut down drastically and did not worry about the economy and worried about people and saving people and looking after people were the ones that actually rebounded the strongest. And the cities that they named, this was a US-based study or report, and it listed out all of these US cities that were not nearly as big and impactful as they are now. So the last pandemic, it showed that because they actually shut down, they thrived after. And before, they were just kind of all on even playing fields. And now they are the biggest cities in the world. And they have the best infrastructure, and all of this good stuff came out of a horrible time. But it was because those cities particularly valued their people over their profits. And that is what I want you to take away from this episode, is value your people, value yourself, value your family. All of us are in the same shitty financial situation, and there's no one person that is going to profit off of this. It's everyone's in it together, and all of us are going to be kind of knocked down a peg financially. But it's the ability to come back from it when this is all over. And the only way that you can come back from this when it's all over is if you're happy and you're healthy and you've got your priorities lined up and you are focusing on what's best for you. And I think that that is kind of where I want to leave this episode. I just wanted to get some things off my chest, kind of just have a really real conversation, and just kind of let you know where I'm sitting on April 7th, 2020, and why I took basically the entire month of March off, because I didn't know what to say. And even at this, like, everything that I said in this episode is probably going to be outdated in 2 days because the situation is changing so fast. But I really, really hope that you guys are taking care of what's best for you, realizing what your priorities are, going back to your why, like this is the whole purpose of this podcast, is I want you to really focus on why you've created your business, why you wanted to have your own business, what your goals are, and then honestly take a look and see if you lost sight of that because you were chasing a dollar or trying to be something that you thought you needed to be. And really, really sit back, think about it, and align yourself with whatever your new purpose is going to be, or align yourself with what you wanted your purpose to be, which may have gotten lost in the weeds. So that's it for today. I don't know what episode 38 is going to hold. It might be more talking, or I might try to give some tips on working at home. I honestly don't know. So stay tuned for our surprise episode 38, which I would love to tell you it would be about launching, but right now, I don't know. I have no idea. It's a mystery. As always, if you guys want to reach out, if you have any words of wisdom, or if you're struggling mentally, my email inbox is always open, flow@flowautomationinc.com, and I will be happy to assist you in any way that I can. But yeah, we're going to be better for this. We are going to hopefully come out as a better, more empathetic society after this, I would hope. I hope that all of the negativity and bullshit that's out there will finally stop. And I just hope that we're not doing all of this for nothing. And when I say all of this, I mean staying at home, abandoning our normal life, all of that. I hope that we're doing this for a greater purpose. And that's not for the health and safety of everyone. I mean like big picture. And that's kind of where I'm keeping my focus, is we're doing a lot of little things now so that we have a better, brighter future as we progress forward. That's one other point, as I just said I was wrapping this up, but there's one other thought that I want to leave you with. And this is a quote that I've seen across so many different platforms, and it's about entrepreneurship as a whole. And it's all about, you live your life for a year like nobody else because you're working 14, 15-hour days. You sacrifice everything. I've seen people that only have like think about Amazon, starting in a garage. Like you live in such a bad place for years, and you live like nobody else for years in a negative way, so that you can spend the rest of your life living like nobody else in a positive way. So you may be right now stuck in your house. You might have to be selling things to make ends meet. You might have to be donating things, giving them away, like whatever you need to be doing to just get through this. We're all doing it right now. And we're doing it so that once this is all over, then we will get to live a better life after. So that's kind of the mindset that I've been keeping, is we have to live through a couple months of suckiness to then have the rest of our lives be better. And I really, truly hope, for the sake of all humanity, that we all start living this and preaching this and stop fighting with each other and actually, I don't know, just get along. Be empathetic, realize that we're all humans and that we just need to be better people, treat people better, and stop blaming other people, and just learn to have disagreements but also coexist. And it doesn't need to be one way is right and one way is wrong. Both ways can be right, both ways can be wrong, but both ways are allowed to exist within reason. Do not take that as something like horrible in one way or the other, but you know what I'm trying to say. So with that, I'm going to leave this episode. I hope that you are having the greatest day that you could possibly have under these circumstances. And I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are safe. I hope that your family is doing well. And I hope that you guys are all coping with the new normal that we are currently living. And I can't wait to get back to talking about marketing funnels and strategic planning and getting traffic on your website and all of those mundane things that I just would love to be talking about right now. But instead, this is where we are. Let's just embrace it and keep our eye on the prize, which is the other side of this. And we will all get there. We will get through it. And I just hope you guys are doing well. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Greater Than Business podcast at www.greaterthanbusiness.com.